Are older games actually better, or are we just addicted to nostalgia? Because I hear this argument all the time. Of course you think old games were better. You were a kid. But after replaying some classic games recently, I don't think that's the full story. I think older games did something fundamentally different, and in a lot of ways better, than modern games do today. And yeah, nostalgia does exist. But I don't think that's the real reason modern games just don't hit like they used to. So are older games better, or are we just living off copium? This Christmas, I got a Backbone 1. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a controller that clips onto your phone and turns it into a handheld console. So naturally, I did what any sane person would do. I fired up an emulator and started playing some old PS2 games. And honestly, I was shocked by how much fun I was having. Not, this is cute for nostalgia fun. Like genuinely locked in, losing track of time fun. One of the games I went back to was Maximo, Ghost of Glory. You play as a knight, fight bosses, and try to save your beloved from an evil sorcerer. Simple premise. And look, this game is old. The graphics haven't aged great, and some of the controls are clunky, to say the least. But despite all of that, I couldn't stop playing. And that's when it hit me. What if it's not just nostalgia? What if these games are fun because they were designed to be fun first, not optimized for engagement metrics, live service retention, or monetization funnels? What if older games respected the player's time and money more than modern games do today? Take Metal Gear Solid Delta, for instance. It's been praised as one of the best remakes in years, and to be fair, it is faithful to the original. But here's the problem I don't see enough people talking about. It's still a remake. I'm supposed to pay $70 for a 21-year-old game with quality of life updates and a new coat of paint, when I can emulate the original, pay nothing, and get nearly the same experience. Now look, I'm not anti-remake, but at that price point, the value just isn't there. And that leads into a much bigger issue with modern gaming. Games are now expensive more than ever. $70 is now the baseline. PC hardware prices are out of control, and RAM prices are starting to feel like the GPU crisis all over again. And then there's monetization. Games like Call of Duty expect us to pay full price every single year for what often feels like the same game, sometimes worse. And that's before DLC, battle passes, or microtransactions. Miss out, and the game feels unfinished. Older games simply just didn't do this. You bought the game once, and it was yours. Now, you're not buying a game, you're buying a license that can be revoked at any time. Which is why you hear a lot of people say, well, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Now look, let's be fair. Not every old game was a masterpiece. Some were janky, unfair, or straight up broken, to say the least. Modern games are better at accessibility, controls, and online infrastructure. That stuff matters, but here's the trade-off we made. Modern AAA studios play it safe, mostly because they're incentivized to. Shareholders don't want risks. Franchises make money, and innovation is seen as too risky. So we get the same formulas, the same tropes, over and over again. And when those games fail, the blame somehow lands on the players. But the reality is much simpler. People don't hate games, they just hate bad ones. If you remember the PS2 and original Xbox era, you know exactly what I mean. This era was chaotic, in a good way. You had giants like God of War, GTA, and Halo, right next to weird one-off games that just tried something. Some flopped, some were incredible, some were just fun and didn't need to be your forever game. The mindset was, here's our idea, play it if you want. That attitude feels missing now. And to be clear, great modern games do exist. Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, Expedition 33, and Arc Raiders. Indie games are especially killing it. Games like Megabonk and Schedule 1 were two of the biggest games to come out last year. But notice the pattern. The best modern games tend to reject modern AAA trends. So yeah, nostalgia plays a role. But I think older games shine because they were pick up and play, finished at launch, designed without FOMO, and built to be fun, not monetization heavy. They didn't beg for your time, they didn't punish you for leaving, and they didn't treat you like a wallet. They just said, hey, this is our game. play it and have fun, or don't. And honestly, I think that's why they still hold up. But hey, that's just my take. What do you guys think? Are older games actually better, or is it just nostalgia? And what's your favorite game from your childhood? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay awesome. Peace!